and welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm flying out a plane that I really don't see a lot of in the skies of War Thunder, the North American F-86K Sabre Dog. This one is the West German one, but you can find identical aircraft operated by the French and Italian Air Forces in the respective tech trees. Now, unlike a lot of the other rare planes that I've covered on this channel so far, I don't have many nice things to say about the Sabre Dog. In fact, if I had to pick one and just one example of power creep screwing over an aircraft, this would probably be it. Despite its increased battle rating, the F-86K is only a side grade on the classic F-86F, and it's actually worse in a number of ways. This is a very heavy plane, and you can really feel the added weight when you try to make turns, to the point that regular Sabres can easily outmaneuver the Sabre Dog in a flat turn fight. The Sabre Dog does have leading edge slats like the F-86F40, and those do help a little bit, but it makes its energy retention extremely poor, and if you commit to a maneuvering fight, you quickly become easy prey. This afterburner might look pretty, but in practice it only manages to get the Sabre Dog's performance to on par with the non-afterburning Sabres in a straight line, because the increased thrust is offset by the plane's increased weight. You've definitely gotten a sense of just how slow this thing's acceleration is from how long it took me just to take off. What's worse, the afterburner forces you to take extra fuel, which of course only adds to the weight problem. All of this means the F-86K isn't really the best at anything, and at a battle rating of 9.3, there's simply a lot of stuff that can give it a really hard time. Nonetheless, the Sabre Dog does have a few tricks up its sleeve in the form of its weapon systems. It gets the production variant of the 20mm cannons on the F-2 Sabre, which means its guns have better ballistics than 50 cals and significantly better stopping power. The Sabre Dog also gets a pair of AIM-9Bs, which won't perform any miracles of course, but get the job done if the enemies are distracted. Just like what's about to happen here. I spend the rest of the game chasing down this A-32, and there's another plane that you don't see too often. Anyway, let me just ramble a bit more about the state of the Sabre Dog before I fast forward to the final battle. As you can probably tell, the way I like to play this plane is in a boom and zoom role. That's not to say that the Sabre Dog is fantastic of a boom and zoom fighter, it's more that it just can't afford to be played in a more aggressive style because you'll get eaten alive. Thankfully, the 4 20mm cannons are quite deadly, and the velocity on the shells lets you get away with some very high-angle shots. You also get significantly more ammo than the F-2 Sabre, which is honestly a godsend with the fire rate of these revolver cannons. All in all, I think this is a plane that's about on par with the Japanese F-86 F-40. Better guns, but a slightly worse airframe with the capability of carrying the same missiles. That being said, I think the F-40's maneuverability is more of an asset in combat than the Sabre Dog's guns, which is why I think the F-40 Sabre is almost competitive, but the Sabre Dog is certainly not, at least in the current meta. The F-86K just isn't fast enough to make up for its average maneuverability, as you can see from my frustrations chasing this A-32 around the map. So let's just fast forward to the finale. And there you have it. I don't really have much else to say about the Sabre Dog. It's kind of just a fat saber. At 9.3, that doesn't quite cut it. I do have one more piece of footage to show you. It's a dogfight that by all accounts I probably shouldn't have been able to win. F-86K versus F-86 F2. Check it out. When it comes down to it, the F-86K is certainly usable. It's not the best, but then again, not everything has to be meta. If you want to have a plane that looks cool and you can have a decent bit of fun with, maybe give this thing a little whirl. Anyway, that's all for me today. Thanks for hanging out.